Okay, now let's start with messaging and queuing in AWS services. So let's start with an example again. There is an application A and application B, and the task here is to send message from application A to application B. So let's take a case where application B fails. So what happens to all the messages that are being transmitted from application A? They start to drop out. So as all these messages are being dropped out, the purpose of application A stops and ultimately application A too fails. So this is called a tightly coupled architecture. Tightly coupled architecture. One failure in a component leads to cascading failures. Cascading failures as in ultimately all these messages are dropped and then application A stops, right? This is what is called as cascading failures in the whole system. What is the solution for this? Like, what can we do here is that we can create a queuing system. AWS provides the solution. Let's take an example here again. Application A, the same purpose to send messages to application B, but what is different here is that with the help of this queue, application A sends the message, it's held up here by the queue, and then it is transmitted to application B. So what if application B fails? So what happens to the message here? The messages will keep on being stored up in the queue. So application B fails, but it doesn't ultimately mean that application A will also fail. It prevents that. So AWS service provides this help of queuing system for the messages so that the interconnected applications won't fail. So what are the AWS services related to this? There are two services mainly. Amazon Simple Queue service. We have seen this already in the abbreviation part of the first video, I guess. And the next is Amazon Simple Notification Service, SNS. So what is the purpose of, or what does SQS do? It sends, stores and receives messages between software components at any volume. Any volume says that there is not a specific volume or a specific amount of messages that can be held. Can hold the queuing mechanism can hold a lot of messages in that. So what does Simple Notification Service do? Simple Notification Service, along with sending, storing and receiving the messages, it also helps in publishing and a subscribing model. So this is a model that helps in sending notifications to your preferred email or your phone number. So when you are adding yourself to the service, it will send a notification to your email saying that okay, this application B has failed. So all these messages are docked up here, and you'll have to take all the measures for that. So this is what a simple notification service means. So as we have seen, tightly coupled, loosely coupled architecture, this is another example. A monolithic application is where all the components are interrelated, and if component 2 stops or it fails, then all the components ultimately starts to fail. But in microservices, which has a loosely coupled architecture, even though the components are interconnected, when a component fails, it doesn't affect all other systems. Only component 1 is failed, and with the help of simple notification service, you might get a notification to your email or your phone number saying that component 1 has stopped working. So you'll have to look into that. So this is all for messaging and queuing.